Alright, so this is for the Nativity puzzle. I have all the pieces laid out on my desk. I've got glue that I'm going to be using, and the screws and hinges, and a screwdriver, and a paper towel if I get glue on my fingers or something. So what I've done is I've laid out my pieces on my desk so I know what's going on. This is the top of the lid, okay? And I've got the hinge part right here, and the hinge reinforcer here, the sides right here. And then this is these two holes where are the latch part, so they go in the front. And this is the bottom, the inside of excuse me, the inside of the bottom of the Nativity box. And also we've got the hinges here and the two holes again for the latch and the side pieces. Now lay these pieces aside, they get glued in afterward, okay? So don't do anything with these yet. This little piece will end up going in the little thing for the angel. But do those last because they're too easy to get flipped upside down. So I'm going to go ahead and get busy, and we'll start with the bottom of the box. All right, so for the bottom of the box, I'm moving these things aside so I can turn this and work on it a little easier. These pieces that don't have the notches on them, they will be used at the very end. So of this part. There's a burn mark on one side of the wood and not on the other. I'm going to work with the burn mark on the outside the whole time, except for the bottom here. So the hinge is on this side, so I'm laying it right like that, and I'm going to put a bead of glue, not too much because we don't want it seeping out and making a mess. Protect your surfaces with wax paper if you don't have, if you have something you want to keep nice, which I'm sure you do. Just a little bead of glue here. I'm trying to push them both down at the same time because I know they're flipping up today. Okay. Once you get that glue on there, pull that up at a 90-degree angle. Push it in nice and tight. And if you have Instaset, go ahead and use it. You probably don't really need it too much with this, but I want to keep going at a good pace, so I'm using it. Now we're going to do the side. Same thing, you'll want a little bit of glue on this tab right here. And then along these teeth marks, let's call them teeth or something. All right, and then flip that piece up. Get it in nice and tight. I'm gonna put a little bit of spray on there and then push it in nice and tight. Okay, now let's do the other side. Remember, burn side out. A little bit of glue on the tab on the end. Oops. Here we go. And flip that piece up. Same thing as the last. Okay, now we'll do the front. Burn side to the outside. I'm going to turn it a little bit just so I have a better angle to put the glue on. And then this one you can put the glue here or on these two little spots, wherever you want, whatever looks easiest. I've got a nice small tip. Well, there we go. On my glue bottle, so it makes it a little easier. You can get these tips that you just push on Amazon, and I love them. Okay, now let's flip this piece up. Now if you want, you can tip it this way just to make sure it's on there nice and tight. I won't spray that one just because we can go on and put the, sorry, it's having a hard time staying in the camera. Okay, so now this part is a hinge reinforcer because our screws are thicker. They're longer than the 3mm material we've got here. And I don't know if it matters which way you put it in, but put the burn side facing you, and then let's go ahead and put some glue in the cracks, and that will just make it stronger. And then also along the edge here. And be kind of liberal with the glue so that it is strong. Okay. Now I've got glue seeping out right here because I had a lot. So just pinch it, wipe it off. If you have, you know, little clamps or something, you can clamp it, but it looks like it will be fine. Okay, so now we have our last piece for the bottom, which is the latch reinforcer. And burn side on the outside. And I don't know, I think that the holes, they're closer to the bottom. You know what, it's not going to matter because your screws will just go in anywhere, but I think put the holes closer to the bottom. It's nice when you have, you know, a hole to start your screw, especially if you're just using just a normal screwdriver and not a powered one. But going through the second layer is real easy if there's not a hole. So if you don't line it up perfectly, it doesn't really matter. Probably should just take those holes out. But it's nice because you know which piece it goes in. So, okay. Here's the bottom of the box. Let's get going to the top. So this part, we'll put these pieces aside for a minute like we did before. This part is the top of the box. So we want our hinge pieces going down. So I'm going to flip it over and burn marks on the outside, and we're going to do the same thing we did before with glue along the edge. And push it down like that. It's holding really well without that spray. Okay, and we are going to continue. This is built the exact same way as the bottom, just a little bit upside. Oh, I went ahead and I put glue on that tab, so I'll have to be careful not to get that all over my fingers. I think I will spray this one and then hold it in there nice and tight. Kind of wobbly there. Okay, let's put this last piece with teeth on. Now I've got some glue, my finger's on there, some glue coming out right here. So while I've got glue there, I'm going to go ahead and put this piece on so that I don't have to wipe that glue off and let it get hard and things won't stick right. So, or you know, they won't be as flush. Not. And I'm going to spray it since we did that a little bit quick. And I'll do the hinge part on the back. And I've got glue seeping out in the same spot. I must just be like to put extra glue there. All right, so now we have our boxes. This is some spray that it will dry. So let's go ahead and put our hinges on before we put the inside pieces in. I'm gonna grab my clamp. Okay, so I've got it clamped. Just make sure it's lined up right. And we will grab one of the hinges. And there are two different types of screws. There's some that are black and they're shorter. And they're hard to see in here. I don't know if you can tell. And then these are more of a bronze color on this side. And they're a little longer. You want the longer ones for the latch. The shorter ones for the hinge. Find it easiest to put the screw on my screw gun. And you can just use a normal screwdriver. Okay, put the one screw in there and then you can just line it up. These can be a little tricky to put on because they're so tiny. So one thing, if you're using a powered drill, if you put too much pressure on it at the very end when it gets tight, it will just pop the head right off. Super easy, so don't tighten it all the way with your drill. See how I'm just kind of pulsing it to get it a little tight there. Okay, let's do another hinge here. The camera, okay. Oops. Okay, second hinge, and let's get the last one on. If for some reason you do pop the head off your screw, it's going to be hard to put another screw in that spot. So I would just move your hinge over a little bit and just start it without the pre-drilled holes. put it in a different spot, but try to cover the other hole. All right, we have our hinges. Let's see if they work. Okay, that looks good. Let's go ahead and put our our latch on. So this might be lined up not quite properly on yours. I don't think it's lined up on mine either. So we'll do this together and I'll show you how to make it work. Okay, first put the top one on. This really doesn't stand up at all now that we have hinges on the back. Alright, so I think I put these holes in the wrong spot, and I will fix that, but you probably have a set that has it wrong. You might. I don't know. Actually, these are, I have fixed it on this one, but line it up like this. If yours wasn't fixed, then you just latch it and then put your screw in where it fits, and it might, you know, it might not go in the hole, but if it does, it doesn't, that's okay. Now I'm going to move this out of the way to get this one and make sure it's straight there. Maybe if you have someone around to help hold it, that would be nice. Alrighty. We've got our latch. That looks good. Okay, let's go ahead and finish up with the other pieces. Alright, now that we have our hinge and our latch put on, we know what's upside down and what's not upside down. So let's grab this piece with all the nativity figurines in it, pop them out. Whoops, that one fell on the floor. All right, now this piece will be where the piece that you put in here. Okay, so we need to put glue on the back of it and just run a bead of glue around everywhere that, not everywhere, but all the wider spots. All right, so I've got it on all the corners and the edges, and I don't know if you can see. Okay, now we're going to flip it over and then grab it where you can. Put it in. Make sure it matches up with the pieces in there. There we go. Now let that dry really well before you put your pieces back in, because if you have any glue seeping out, then you don't want to glue your pieces in. Let me grab this piece. So we want this to open up where you can read it. So let's go ahead and put glue there. Now you want to try not to get glue seeping through. You don't want glue coming through here. So I'm going to leave this area right here without glue on each side. Maybe. We'll see if I can get it to line up. If glue comes through, see there, I just put some on the spot that will probably show, so wipe it off. Actually, you'll probably be able to figure this out better than me. I'm pretty sure I have glue that will seep out. Yeah, I do. But that's okay. We're gonna wipe it off. I was trying to find something to put in there, but this works. Just fold your napkin, paper towel into the cracks. See, I did this on purpose so that you'd know how to clean it up. Oops, it's not working. It's not dry enough yet to stay in place. Put a little spray on that so we don't have to wait. You could put a little weight on it, like just anything, you know. Put your drill on it for a minute and walk away and get a drink and come back. Get a glass of water or something. I sure need one. My throat is yucky today. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, so let's see if we can wipe that off. Well, it's not working very well. But if you have like a putty knife or something, here, look, there's a credit card. Stick it in there, and then you can clean that glue off if you have any seeping through. So just like that. Alrighty. Then we have our last piece that we're going to glue. See how this hangs down over that? It's just meant to be that way. So, on this piece here, I would put the burn side up and then put the glue on the bottom. That way if you have any glue seeping out, it doesn't show. And even put some here. So I kind of made a mess of it. But I want it strong. Oops, I want it strong. But I can still wipe off a little bit. Okay, a little bit of spray. All right. And we have our puzzle. Let's see. We got Wiseman. We got baby Jesus. More Wiseman. Oh, here's the angel. She can pop right in here. Got a little ox or cow, the shepherd. And it's the fun part about this is you can just put them wherever you want and do it different each time. The kids will love making it different every time. Okay, this little guy doesn't want to stand up. I don't know why. Probably will stand up better on the edges. More shepherds. We got a camel. Let's put the camel under that arch there. And Mary. And oh, there's a little fence. Kind of to show that they're in a barn. And where did I put Joseph? Joseph must be right here. Look at that. I thought he was a shepherd because he has a staff. Okay, and a little lamb or sheep. All right, there you go. Tree's being naughty. All right, have fun with this, guys. Thanks, bye.